Same old Chelsea. We drew 0 against Fulham. There was a lot of optimism around the match. We have signed new players. There was a lot of excitement. Enzo Fernandez playing this match. You had Mudryk starting his game for Chelsea at Stamford Bridge. You had other players coming in fresh after a 2 week break. You thought there will be ID on the pitch. A lot of the training drills were performed by the manager to bring the togetherness in the squad. So you thought the team is going to play well. But to be honest, that was more like the same old Chelsea that have not been playing well for a long, long time. And again, it's a disappointing result, another drop points. And now Chelsea again are 9 points behind Newcastle and Manchester United, but they both have a game in hand. And we could find ourselves 12 points behind at the end of this week. And it's going to take something of a miracle for us to even dream of making it top four. Another disappointing performance, another day where attackers did not perform, and again, Fulham with the better side. But also some context is needed as well, and I'll have a bit of discussion on that. So, people, it doesn't take much. Please hit on the like button, subscribe button. It means a lot. And stay till the end. We are going to have some great chat together. And starting off, first of all, with the post-match thoughts and reaction. See, to be honest, we need to have a bit of context when so many players are playing at one time and so many new signings are playing. The gelling is going to be difficult. It's very easy to say that everything has to happen instantly, but let's not be idiots. It's not going to happen instantly. And how Mount and Havertz starting week in, week out, they are so attentive. First of all, people do subscribe to PB Talks, great channel, and Prasanna brother has some great content there. Prasanna Bhai, even I don't know. I'm myself stunned, Prasanna Bhai. Like, they don't deserve to be playing, but again, there's a lot of favoritism, and I think it's better for both the players to be dropped. Aubameyang could do a better job as a striker than Havertz, and Mason can be dropped. There's no bad in that, but Graham Potter, for me, either he wants to build the team around them or he hasn't got the balls to drop them, and that's more concerning point. And on the post match, there was a lot of optimism on Stamford Bridge, a lot of happiness. Enzo was debuting. You had Mudryk making his debut. There was Madueke on the bench. The team overall was still looking much better and should be getting the job done. But it was Fulham with a better side for the first half. They could have scored a goal, but Kepa Arrizabalaga made a very good save to Andres Pereira. We slowly grew into the game. Kai Havertz has a very easy chance for a striker, and he missed that. Mason Mount did a good job in that particular occasion, and Mason Mount made a very good pass into the middle of the box, and that should have been 1-0 Chelsea. But again, when you play a player who is a number 10, a winger, a number 8 in a striking position, that is what you should be expecting. And Kai Havertz is not your natural striker, and he did not make the instinct to make that run. For Aubameyang, that would have been bread and butter. For any striker in the world, that would have been bread and butter. For Kai Havertz, it's like a tough chance, and that's never going to get away. Kai Havertz had another good chance, but that was a tough one, so I will have some sympathy in that regards. He did well, he did dink it over keeper, but in the end, the post was there to deny him. And second half started, we all thought we were going to come back nice, but the manager made a baffling substitution, but an understandable substitution. Because I think because Cucurella was having an absolutely horrendous game, and we all know Cucurella is not really good attackingly. He brought Madueke on for Mudryk to provide more width, but again, it might have been better to even bring Mason Mount off, but he wanted to be defensive because Mason Mount brings a lot of defensive effort, pressing. So he brought Mudryk off and he brought Madueke on, and the team went on. We keep going on, but it was never end final output. Then Hakim Ziyech was substituted. You had Raheem Sterling coming up and Madueke moving to his natural position in the right wing. And Madueke was very, very good in the game. The guy is seriously a talented footballer, a very, very good player. And at least the good signs in this match are that Enzo is already upgraded on all the players we've got. Felix is already an upgrade we have got. Modric still looks like at least a good talent. Madueke looks a very, very good talent. And that's the biggest positive because right now we're getting players who are just right now same old problems and not putting the shift in and not having the enough quality. And the half went on. Conor Gallagher had a very, very good shot that just was whisker away from the post. But after that, we did not have anything in the game. The corner kicks were absolutely horrendous. Raheem Sterling came on and looked an absolute shadow of the player he used to be. Fofana had a chance, courtesy of an Bird, Leno, an absolute horrendous error. And Fofana should be doing better, but he's a young guy, so we need to have some sympathy in that regards. And we went on to draw the game. And to be honest, it was Fulham who should have got the victory in this match. They were the better side, but also we need to have some context in regards to this. Fulham under Marco Silva have been coached for 2 or 3 years. This is a new side being put together, and again, Graham Potter will get his share criticism, but again, you cannot put too much on him when he has to manage so many players. It will take time, and we need to have some understanding, and we need to back the manager in this particular regard. Going on to the next slide now, talking about it. Graham Potter must be given patience, but also can do better. Now, again, there's a lot of, you can say, different sides you find on social media. On social media, you've got people who are right now using this match to say, I told you Graham Potter is not good enough for the job, this, that, and overall all the other stuff. And on the other hand, you have got people on the other hand, they're saying that, see, it's going to take time. So many players are there. Gelling has to be given time. I'm in the middle. See, first of all, we need to have understanding that so many players are playing together is a tough job for the manager. He had no Zakaria, no Kovacic. He had to play the midfield of Enzo Fernandez and Conor Gallagher, where Conor Gallagher is not a natural pivot player. Still, the team has kept 3 clean sheets in a row. The signs are looking much better. And at the moment, with so many players being brought straight away in, you have to have some sympathy for the manager. He cannot really wand a magic wand here and everything is going to change. It's not a Disney Channel here, so we need to have the understanding in that regards. But where I am angry at Graham Potter is he needs to be a bit more assertive with your players like Kai Havertz and Mason. Mason is not having a good time, and it's better to drop him, let him regain some of his confidence, get that a bit of fitness back, freshness back, and that could be better. Havertz again. I know Aubameyang is an old person in the dressing room in comparison to young players. I know Graham Potter is building a young project, but can Aubameyang not do at least a job from the bench in a situation like this? So that is up to Graham Potter as well. And other than that, you have to say that he cannot do much more than that because again the side is so much imbalance. Can he do better? Should he be doing better at Chelsea? Absolutely. 20 points out of 15 games under Graham Potter. That is not the way Chelsea should be going. But on the other hand, should he really be doing overly better and should we be overcritical of him? No, because he has been put into an absolute mess and he's going to take time. We need to give him the summer and the preseason and then we can fully judge him of what he's capable of. So we need to have the calmness, but also the criticism in a constructive way is never bad. But over criticism in wanting him out, that is where it goes over the limit. Coming on to Mudryk now, he made his debut and it's going to be a great time for the rivals because as rivals, a lot of people love to criticize Chelsea. A lot of people love to go on Chelsea, which is again very understandable. It's not a surprise as well because people love to go at Chelsea and they're going to use Mudryk as an example. Not a good signing, not a good player, and all the other stuff. So that is very understandable. All the criticism is going to come. But as a Chelsea fan, we should not care about rivals say. We should only care about what our players are capable of and how they perform. With Mudryk, we all know Mudryk is a very, very young guy, a guy we are signing for the future. So we need to have some perspective in this. We cannot be absolute, like out of context here, criticize him, say he's not good enough and all that other stuff. We need to be a bit more calm with him. He's still a very, very talented guy. We saw his talent against Liverpool. In this match, as I said, flashes of brilliance. We saw him running past players 1-2 with Mason Mount. But on one hand, he's just coming to the Premier League, so we need to give him time. We need to give him patience. We cannot be impatient as fans. But on the other hand, people, we need to also have understanding that he's not playing with a very, very good left back, not a very good progressive left back. For a player of Mudryk quality, he needs a left back that can make an overlapping run. But Cucurella is attackingly absolutely horrendous, and that is where it was a big, big struggle. Mudryk was not having a good partnership with Cucurella. Then Mason Mount and Mudryk were not having good understanding, which is understandable. You are just now new in the dressing room. You are just now a new player. To create that bond, to create that understanding is going to be difficult. And this is why Mudryk and the team was not having a good understanding. And this is why it was just not working. On the substitution, I think I know people will be angry, but I think it was a bit understandable. But it would have been much better to take Mason off or a Kai off. But the problem is we had no striker, so Kai could not be taken off. And Mason Mount provides a lot of off the ball work. Otherwise, in a midfield two of Enzo, Conor Gallagher, and overall Chelsea would have been very much exposed defensively. So that is why I do understand he wanted to bring Mudryk off and he wanted to bring Madueke on to provide more width from the left side, which Chelsea were not getting with Cucurella Mudryk. So it's understandable, but again, that only decrease the attacking threat and would have been better to have all Madueke, Ziyech, your players like Mudryk and Havertz on the pitch. But again, Mount provides a lot of off the ball efforts as well. And this is why I do understand why the manager made this substitution. Coming on, Conor Gallagher. Now, see, Conor Gallagher has to pass better, but he still tried his best for me in his position. He was playing in a pivot 2 with Enzo in a 4-2-3-1 formation. And Mason was just playing near to him, but Mason was playing more of a free role. where sometimes Mason was in a number 8, sometimes Mason was a number 10. So Mason was allowed a free role, and Conor Gallagher had to do a lot of things, defensive effort. And defensively, for me, Enzo Fernandez was very good in this. Conor Gallagher was very good in this game. Attackingly, he had a very good shot that was whisker away from the post. But again, the same problems that Conor has, which has to improve, is his passing in the final box, which has to work better at a club with a pressure like Chelsea. Because Conor, for me, is still a player who has got talent. Conor, for me, is still a player that can do a very, very good job. But overall, Conor has his passing is a bit disappointing in the final box. His decision making is a bit, you can understand, for a young player, and overall, his decision making is not up to the mark. And that is the thing I think he must improve. He has the talent, he has the desire, he has the hard work, and it does do a lot of work in the team. But these things Conor will have to improve if he has to make his place in the starting 11. But overall, today, attackingly, he was disappointing. Defensively, for me, he did his job. And in terms of the pressing and the movement, I think he was good in this game. But overall, attackingly, it was another disappointing performance of Conor Gallagher, and he has to do better for me in the final box. Coming on to the next discussion now, that is on the partnership. I'm sorry for mistake in 2 clean sheets. That is 3 clean sheets on the bounce. Badia Shelley and Thiago Silva. That is a proper centre back partnership. Both the players are having good understanding. One is left footed, one is right footed. Thiago Silva's experience is guiding Badia Shelley well. Badia Shelley aerially is playing so well. He's aerially a very, very imposing centre back. He's very good on the ball as well. He made some mistakes today, but that is understandable. But I'm really liking the way these two guys are playing, the duo they are making here, and overall the understanding they're having. Now, finally, Chelsea have a proper centre back partnership, no rotation, no pathetic thing. Now we have a proper players that are going to play week in, week out in Silva and Badia Shelley. They're making a very, very good understanding together as well. And right now, we have kept 3 clean sheets in a row. We kept a clean sheet against Crystal Palace in a 1-0 victory. We kept a clean sheet away to Anfield. Now we have kept a clean sheet against Fulham at Stamford Bridge. 3 clean sheets on the bounce. And the partnership between Thiago Silva and Badia Shelley is looking very, very good, people, to be really honest. Badia Shelley is very composed on the ball, very good. Thiago Silva, the spraying of passes he made today was absolutely awesome. Some of the passes Thiago Silva made were absolutely good for a centre back. There was such good passing. He found some very good passes, found Havertz in some very good positions. And defensively, again, whenever required, Thiago Silva was always there to protect Chelsea. So that was a very, very good display from both of them. And this is one of the positives Chelsea have had in the last 3 to 4 weeks. Coming on to Hakim Ziyech, I did think he played well. Now, there was a lot of rumors around PSG and his deal being really thrown off. Many people said Hakim Ziyech was fuming with Chelsea, but that was a good display from a player who media was saying was very angry. He played with desire. He did everything he can. He made a beautiful pass to Kai Havertz, which Kai Havertz, I think, did good. He did dink it over the keeper, but it hit the bar. And Hakim Ziyech, for me, did everything in the game. He put his desire, his passion, and overall, he was good with his feet whenever he had the chance. He put some good crosses into the box as well. So I think Hakim Ziyech had a good game today. And for a player that was just denied a move and was angry, that's a good way to put the doubters away. And that was a good performance from Hakim Ziyech. And he's continued from his good performance against Crystal Palace, good performance against Liverpool, and another good performance today. And that was a fine person of Hakim Ziyech in overall a disappointing day for Chelsea and the players we had. Going on to the next slide and next discussion point, that is Enzo Fernandez. And this guy is a massive upgrade of what we've got right now. This guy is so talented. He's so talented. What a great player we've got on our hands. And this guy was far and above every player on the pitch Chelsea had by Thiago Silva. And that says a lot. He was a midfield player we have needed for so much time. And once N'Golo Kante comes back to his full fitness, hopefully, then we've got a very good midfield pairing, because this guy is so good. He's not a natural DM, but he's so tenacious. He wins tackles. His passing is good. The shot he hit was, my God, wow, that was a beautiful shot just away from the bar. The way he was tackling, some of his passing, his overall desire on the pitch, his overall energy on the pitch, his enthusiasm. I think this is a very good guy, a midfielder we've needed for a long time, a player who is very good with his feet, a player that is very tenacious in his tackle, a player that brings a lot of aggression. Enzo Fernandez is a player Chelsea have been demanding for a long time, and that was a very good performance and an indication of how good player Chelsea have signed, because Enzo Fernandez was ruling the midfield And along with Conor Gallagher, he really controlled Paulinho and Reed. And that was a very good performance of Enzo Fernandez. Even sometimes he went in duels with the players. He even sometimes marked Mitrovic. That was a very, very good performance from a guy who is going to be a superstar at Chelsea. Coming on to the next discussion point, and that is Marc Cucurella. He might be deserving praise defensively. I think he made a good block, but attackingly, he's an absolute problem, people. Attackingly is a massive, massive problem, and we need Ben Chilwell back at his full fitness because Cucurella attackingly does not offer a lot. He's not making a good partnership with Mason. He's not making a good partnership with Mudryk. He does not overlap. He does not make a lot of passes. Whenever he has a chance, he hooves the ball. And for a player who was so good at Brighton, who was so good with his feet, this is a shadow of a player we have. Now, with every new signing, I always say we need to give them time. We need to show them patience. So I'm calm and I will give Cucurella the time and the benefit of doubt. But Cucurella needs to massively improve on his attacking work because attackingly, he's right now playing very, very atrociously. And that was a very, very poor attacking display from Marc Cucurella. Mount again, Mason Mount. Everybody on this channel knows how much I love Mason, but Mason has been disappointing for some time. I thought this 2-week break will do him a world of good. He's going to get him his fitness back. He's going to get him his confidence back. It will get him a bit of break from football, but it's just not working. I think now Graham Potter must be a bit more strong and give Mason Mount a much needed rest. Mason has not played well for some time now, and there's nothing bad than to drop a player, let him recover, let some other player play, and then come back because right now Mason is not playing well. This is not the Mason I know. This is not the Mason I've seen. And since the Bournemouth match, Mason has been absolutely anonymous this season and very, very poor from Mason. He has a lot of talent. He's a very good guy. He's going through a rough patch, but see, he has been disappointing. The criticism has to be constructive and understandable, and it will be better for us right now to drop him, let him have a bit of competition, and that is, I think, the best way we can go because today, again, Mason was very disappointing. He did make a very, very good cross towards Kai Havertz, which Kai Havertz should be finishing, but overall, Mason, in other aspect of the game, was very, very disappointing today, and there's no really getting away from that. He has been disappointing for this whole season and really, really disappointed for Mason today. Madueke is another very good talent I think Chelsea have found. He is absolutely good talent. This guy is so, so good. And right now, I'm getting more trust on what Chelsea can do for the future because I think we are signing some very good players. Badia Shelley is absolutely tremendous at the back. I think Enzo Fernandez looks a very good signing. Not a scouted signing, but looks a right signing. Madueke is looking a very good scouted signing. A player nobody would have told us to buy. It would have been big names. But this guy is looking very talented. He's very good with his feet, the way he turns, his pace, his confidence. I think this is going to be a very good guy for Chelsea. I'm loving the way he played today. He was one of the positives. And I think Madueke had a very, very good game today. So we need to give him the due praise for that. And I respect him a lot. He was fantastic today. Absolutely fantastic. Coming on towards now player ratings for this match of 10 against Fulham. And what is going to be the player ratings today? And starting off with Kepa Arrizabalaga, he made a very, very good save of Andres Pereira. He also made a very good save where Mitrovic hit a very, very long shot. And I think Kepa really, really cleared it well. Kepa overall was calm. He did make one mistake, which straight away went to Andres Pereira. And it could have been a bit more, like you can say, costly on some other day. But Kepa had a good game overall. He was good with his feet. Kepa made some very good saves against Andres Pereira and Mitrovic. And overall, he was again a calm presence at the back. And a fine game for Kepa Arrizabalaga, where really, to be honest, you can't really criticize him for anything else. He was fine today and did play well and made some good saves and really calm and composed with the ball. Coming on to Reece James, and it's understandable. Reece James is coming after a very injury-prone season, so fitness is not going to be there. And this was a disappointing performance of Reece James, but it's good to see him back on the pitch. I don't care about the performances. I know Reece James will be back very soon, but it was good to see Reece James back on the pitch, getting some minutes. And we have to understand that his fitness level won't be at the same that it used to be. So we have to understand that. And this is why Reece was not playing at his best, which is understandable. And that is why I think overall it was a disappointing performance, but a performance we need to understand and have a bit of context in that regards. Next one I'm going to talk about is Badia Shele, and he's so good. He is so, so good. He's so, so imposing. He's very good on the ball. I think defensively, aerially, I think Badiashile is a very, very good player. I think we have signed a fantastic player, Badiashile, and I think this is a very, very good player. He did have a bit of sloppy passes today, Badiashile. He made some very, very sloppy passes, and he did make some mistake, but he's a young guy who is learning. But overall, he was so good aerially. The way he won some of the duels, sometimes the way he dealt with Trovic, the passing he made, overall some of the composure he had the ball. I think we have got a very, very good young player on our books, and looks a very, very good signing by the recruitment team with Stanley and Christopher Weibel. Coming on towards the next player, and that is Thiago Silva, our player of the season, one of the most consistent player we've had, and that was another good display. Defensively, Silva was again very good. Offensively, he made some very, very good passes. He made some very good passes, long balls to Havertz, Mount. He had a very, very good game attackingly as well. And defensively, Thiago Silva is a player you'll even trust with a life. And Thiago Silva is an absolutely awesome professional, awesome player, a player defying his age, and a fantastic, fantastic leader on the pitch. Another very good performance of Thiago Silva in an overall season that's been really, really disappointing. Coming on to Marc Cucurella, and that was an absolutely awful display. Marc Cucurella. Defensively, he was fine, but attackingly, that was absolutely atrocious. He was not part of any attack. Passing was not progressive, and very disappointing for Marc Cucurella. I think this guy has a talent. He's a good signing. I still will give him time. He's a new signing. We need to be calm and give him time. But overall, Marc Cucurella was very, very poor today. And attackingly, he was not making the right passes. He was not making the right cutbacks. And I'm very, very disappointed in Marc Cucurella today again. I thought the break is going to do him world of good. He's going to come back with confidence. But he was not making good partnership with Mudryk and Mount. And Cucurella attackingly was destroying a lot of moves. He was hoofing the ball up. Sometimes the passing was not coming. And Cucurella was very disappointing today. For me, the worst Chelsea player on the pitch today. Very, very disappointing for Marc Cucurella. Coming on to the next player, that is Enzo Fernandez, and what a game this guy had. What a damn game this guy has, and what a big upgrade he is on the players we've got. This guy is very, very talented. He's very good with his feet. He can play as a DM. He can play as a number 8. Technically, very good. He's tenacious. He's aggressive. He wins the tackles. He really fights for the shirt. He has enthusiasm. He has aggression. And along with that, he's got a technical expertise. He has got a good hitting shot power. The shot that he hit was so close to be the goal. And Enzo Fernandez today showed why he's the player we have needed for a long time. And if Kante comes back fully fit, if Kovacic comes back fully fit, suddenly with Enzo, the team is going to have a lot of balance. And that was a very, very good display of a new signing who put his doubters to the rest for the talent he has got. That was a very good performance from Enzo Fernandez. A very, very good performance from Enzo Fernandez. Coming on to the next player to rate, and it's Conor Gallagher. I think Conor Gallagher did put a lot of effort. Defensively, I think Conor Gallagher was very, very good in this game. Offensively, again, in the final box, that's where I think Conor has not been playing well for some time now. And that is where Conor, for me, in the future will have to do better. Conor still put a lot of everything on the pitch for the shirt. He did play for the Chelsea shirt. He ran his socks off around the pitch. He played in an unnatural position as a pivot player, which is not his position. And defensively was very, very good because we had no Zakaria, no Kovacic, no Kante. And Gallagher was very, very good defensively. But again, offensively, his corner kicks were absolutely atrocious. Overall, his shot was so close to be the goal. And that is the quality Conor Gallagher has. And this is why on my channel, I've always said Conor Gallagher should be playing closer to the goal rather than playing with a pivot player. But today we had no option. Conor Gallagher overall for me had a fine game, but it's just that in the final box, he lacks that pass, he lacks that decision making, and this is why that's the only problem. And I hope Conor Gallagher resolves that. He's still very young, he still has a lot of time, and hopefully he rectifies that part of his game. Going on, the next player to rate, and people watching it doesn't take much, do hit on the like button. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't, and please participate and do put your player ratings in the comment section below. Coming on Hakim Ziyech, for me, Hakim Ziyech deserves a 7 because again, player people were talking about not being allowed to move to PSG. He's not going to play well for Chelsea. He's not going to put enough desire for Chelsea. Hakim Ziyech Chelsea career is over and all that stuff. But today, he played like a true professional. Today, Hakim Ziyech was very, very good. He made a very, very good pass to Kai Havertz, which Kai Havertz did not do very bad. He just dinked it over the keeper, but he hit the bar. But Hakim Ziyech today was just very, very good with his feet. He was very good with some of his passing. And Hakim Ziyech is still a player who's fighting for the badge, who's fighting for the shirt, and a player I really like and admire. And especially in the last some weeks, he's played really well. He had a very good match against Crystal Palace. He performed very well against Liverpool at Anfield. And today, again, that was a very, very good performance from Hakim Ziyech again. And today, Hakim Ziyech was again very good. And we do need to shower our praises towards him. He fought for the badge, he fought for the shirt. He did play well for the team. So we need to have the understanding and we do need to praise him as well. Coming on to the next player to rate, and that is Mudryk. And understandably, first time we have to be patient. He's a young guy and we need to give him time. But overall, Mudryk, overall for this game was anonymous. Mason and Cucurella did not help him, but overall, Mudryk was anonymous for this game. And overall, that was a disappointing performance from Mudryk overall. But again, we did not allow him to be really dangerous in the game. Mudryk tries 1-2s. He wants to get behind the defenders, but Mason was not supporting him very good. And because Mason himself was not having a good performance, Mark Cucurella, as I've told everyone, attackingly, he's not the player we need in terms of attackingly. I still have a lot of patience with Cucurella, but Cucurella attackingly is just not it. And that's also the reason Mudryk did not play well. And overall, I think Mudryk deserves a 5. That was not the worst performance, but not a good performance on his debut. But this happens. He's a young guy, and we need to give him some time and patience. Mason Mount overall, I try to be as kind as I can with the rating because Mason today was absolutely poor, very, very disappointing. I think Mason has a lot of talent. He still is a very, very talented player. He's just going through a rough patch. But sometimes when you're going through a rough patch, being dropped for 2-3 weeks, having a bit more competition can only work better for you. And I think this is time for Graham Potter to do that. I love Mason Mount. I thought with this 2-week break, Mason Mount is going to come back fully fit, fully fresh, and energetic. But Mason Mount was not the Mason Mount we know. He did make a very good pass for Kai Havertz, which was a sitter, and Kai Havertz should be getting the goal, and Mount should have an assist. But overall, it was disappointing from Mason Mount today, and Mason Mount is a much better player than what we are seeing in some weeks. And this was a disappointing performance of Mason Mount overall, and that is why he deserves a 5. Coming on to the next player to rate, and the next player is Kai Havertz. Kai Havertz again, attackingly, he's not a striker, but he's being played in that position, and it does not have the striker instinct. Mason made a very good pass, but Kai Havertz was caught in his heels, and that should have been 1-0 Chelsea, but he missed that. Then he had a good chance again with Hakim Ziyech pass, but I think he hit it well. I do think Kai Havertz hit it very, very well, but sometimes you just can't do a lot when it's going to hit the bar. But that was much better for Kai Havertz. But overall, it was another anonymous performance of Kai Havertz, and overall, a disappointing performance of Kai Havertz. And again, he did not score a goal. He did not really influence the game. Attackingly, he missed some chances. And again, I can't criticize him because he's not a natural number 9, but it's been so much time for him in a Chelsea shirt, and he has not put consistent performances. So at some point, the doubts are going to be raised. Coming on to Madueke, the substitute, and he was one of the positive for this game. He came on and he had a massive, massive impact, Madueke. He looks an absolutely beautiful talent, an absolutely talented player to have, and that was a good performance of Madueke. For me, he has to be a 7. He came on, he changed the game. He was looking the most dangerous player for Chelsea in the second half, and I was loving his performances. I was loving this guy's performance. He's a very, very talented guy. He's a very, very talented young player. And I think we've got a very, very good player on our books for the future. And another good player, I think Christopher Weigl and Stanley have scouted. And I think these are only good signs for the future of Chelsea Football Club and what we are trying to do. A very, very good young guy with good performance today. Cesar Aspilicueta came on for Reece James, and I think he did a fine job. Did not have a lot of time. But defensively, for me, Aspilicueta did well. And attackingly, he tried to do as best as he can. So I think Cesar Aspilicueta deserves a 6. Coming on to Raheem Sterling, and Raheem Sterling for me deserves a 5 because when he came on, he was very disappointing. He lost the ball a lot. I think he did not have the momentum, which is understandable. He has been injured for 2 or 3 weeks now and he's come back. But this season overall has been disappointing for Raheem Sterling. And that was another performance where he came on, he lost the ball a lot and did not look the Raheem Sterling we know. But today I'm going to have a bit more understanding for him because he's coming back after an injury. But that was overall a disappointing cameo for Raheem Sterling to forget. Coming on to another player to rate, that is Fofana, a young guy. I think he had a very good chance where Bird Leno made an absolutely disastrous decision, and Fofana should be putting that into the back of the net. But as a young guy, we need to have patience with. I think this guy has talent, he's showing that. I think a loan still will be better for him, but now he's at the club. And if you're not going to play Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, I'll rather see Fofana than Kai Havertz being the number 9. Give this guy 6 months time. Give this guy the time to develop and at least play him in the Premier League matches where the top four looks out of reach. We can develop a player, and if he doesn't look ready, you can send him on loan. But overall, I do see the talent in this guy, and I hope he gets more chances to play. He missed a chance, but overall in the chance, I think he did very well to go against keeper, and that was overall good to see. On the manager at the last, I think manager deserves a 6. I think he did not do much wrong. He had no other options. So many players are still injured. When a new squad is being assembled, it always takes manager more time. So we need to have some context in that. But I was still baffled with Mudryk coming off, but Mount and Havertz again and again starting every week. I still think the team could have done better. So this is why I think it deserves a 6. But overall, I don't think Potter could have done much, and we need to have context and we need to give Graham Potter time. And overall, people, is disappointing. We've dropped points to Fulham at Stamford Bridge. This season, we have played Fulham 2 times. We've lost to them and drawn to them. So I know it's disappointing for everyone. But see, we need to have context as well. I think the team is building very well for the future. This team has a lot of talent. I think we will be doing a good job in the future as well. And this is why sometimes it is important for everyone involved to just give the team time, give the team some patience, because that is the most important part, people. I'm being very, very honest. This team still has a lot of talent. This team still has a lot of desire. I still think this team can do a very, very good job. And yes, it was a disappointing performance, a drop points, but that happens, and I think we move on. But now this match has gone out of the window. We will have some players back. A lot of players have got a bit more understanding. There is no excuse to drop points to West Ham. And now we need to go on a 2 or 3 match winning run. Today is a bit of, you get to say, gelling time, and this is why you have to let one match go and understand the team will need time to gel, but the results have to come quick as well. We cannot just let the season go after spending such an enormous amount of money. I think Graham Potter, for me, as I've told in this channel, must be given time, but also can do better. He has had to work in an absolute mess with so many new players, with the former manager players, with the 35-man squad to deal with. So we need to give him time and patience. But along with them, 20 points in his 15 games, he can do better than that. We all know that. And the team can play much better than what they're doing right now. And Mudryk, for me, his substitution was very baffling, but again, understandable. For me, the problem was Mudryk was not combining well with Mount and Cucurella, and Chelsea were not getting enough width. So this is where Madueke was brought on. But I do think that if Graham Potter had a bit more strongness in him, he should have taken Mount off and should have gone more attacking. But I can understand with just having Enzo and Conor Gallagher back, he was a bit too afraid to do that. So overall, people, we have dropped points to Fulham. It happens. I hope you have a great day. Please, people watching, it doesn't take much. Do hit on the like button, subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching a disappointing draw today. But I know good things are coming for Chelsea. And right now, we will be disappointed. But I know the future for us is going to be very, very good. Thank you, everyone, for watching. It means a lot. Hope you have a great day. Thank you, everyone. Up the Chelsea.